It starts quietly. You're sitting at your kitchen table late at night, bills stacked like miniature skyscrapers, each one demanding attention. Your mind drifts between the anxiety of what's due and the hope that maybe, just maybe, next month will feel easier. You've had this thought before. There has to be a way to stop living paycheck to paycheck without working 80 hours a week. Hi, my name is Jordan. I've spent over a decade studying money, not just markets, but the subtle ways people think about, interact with, and sometimes sabotage their own financial lives. And here's the thing. Living off dividends isn't some abstract dream. It's a strategy grounded in numbers, psychology, and deliberate action. It's about building a system that quietly works for you, month after month, without stress dictating your decisions. Most people believe financial freedom starts with a huge salary or winning the stock lottery. They think you need to time the market or stumble into a rare opportunity. But the truth is almost the opposite. Freedom starts with consistency, clarity, and understanding what your real expenses are. That moment of clarity, the one that shifts everything, is often overlooked. For me, the turning point came when I realized how much my financial anxiety shaped my decisions. I wasn't thinking strategically. I was reacting to scarcity. One late utility bill, one unexpected car repair, and suddenly, my carefully planned budget was a battlefield. That's when I understood the invisible threshold, the moment when passive income covers your essential living expenses. Once you cross it, the rules of life change quietly but profoundly. Let's put that into context. Suppose your monthly target is $5,200, the amount you need to cover rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, and a few discretionary expenses. You might assume this requires a multi-million-dollar portfolio. In reality, with careful planning, high-quality dividend stocks, and strategic allocation, reaching this level is achievable far earlier than most imagine. Here's the principle most people miss. It's not about hitting a magic number immediately. It's about building momentum, step by step. Think of it as a door. On one side, you're constantly worried, negotiating with bills, and making choices under pressure. On the other side, you've crossed the threshold. Your essentials are covered, stress diminishes, and opportunities become visible. Once you push the door open, it tends to stay open. Gravity does the rest. The psychological shift is powerful. Before, decisions are made in panic mode. Can I afford this? Will I make it to the next paycheck? Every choice is distorted by fear. After reaching the threshold, those same scenarios feel different. That $500 emergency, manageable. That unexpected opportunity, actionable. Mental bandwidth expands dramatically when scarcity no longer dominates every decision. Let's talk numbers. If one of your dividend stocks yields 4% annually, and you invest $50,000, that's $2,000 a year. Spread strategically across multiple positions, reinvesting dividends along the way. And within a year, a portion of your $5,200 monthly goal is already covered. Over time, compounding accelerates this effect. It's not instant. It's methodical, deliberate, and entirely predictable. The identity transformation is just as important as the financial shift. The person who scrambles to pay bills becomes someone who designs choices. You start noticing small, deliberate decisions that compound into freedom. Delaying a costly gadget purchase, choosing a practical vehicle, or negotiating a smarter housing arrangement. Control over money is no longer an obsession, it's agency. And here's a subtle point often overlooked. The same $5,200 has different psychological weight depending on your financial context. In survival mode, it's stress, fear, and constant calculation. After your dividend threshold is met, it becomes optionality, freedom, and leverage. That's why crossing the invisible line feels transformative. Your mindset and your life changes first. Big decisions now outweigh small ones. You're less concerned with coffee-level spending and more focused on life-level choices. Career moves, investment strategies, housing options, and long-term opportunities. This is where your walking away money enters the picture. The ability to negotiate, walk away, and act with confidence because your basic needs are already met. Posture alone changes outcomes. But reaching this milestone is not a reward. It's a foundation. The danger is lifestyle inflation, the subtle creep of expenses that can erode months or even years of progress. Upgrading your car, your apartment, or indulging in non-strategic spending steals future freedom. Treat this milestone as a seed. Plant it, nurture it, let it grow. Opportunity cost becomes tangible. Every dollar spent on consumption is a dollar not contributing to your freedom. Consider a $30,000 luxury purchase. That's not just $30,000. It's the months of passive income you forego, the momentum you delay, and the options you close. Every trade-off becomes emotionally clear, not through guilt, but through insight and deliberate choice. Discipline isn't deprivation, it's design. Over months, the growth becomes evident. Your first $500 dividend check arrives, then $1,000, then $2,000. The cumulative effect is undeniable. Momentum is now working for you. And this is the quiet, invisible power of dividends. Once established, they function continuously, quietly reinforcing your financial independence. This isn't luck. It isn't timing or insider access. It's a deliberate application of principles, carefully chosen dividend stocks, consistent reinvestment, and patience. And as your passive income grows, so does your freedom. Stress recedes. Opportunities become clear. Your decisions are no longer driven by fear, they're driven by agency and choice. The ultimate takeaway is simple but profound. Knowing exactly how much you need to cover your essentials allows you to stop reacting and start designing. Dividend income is more than money. It's autonomy, clarity, and control. It's the difference between existing under pressure and living deliberately. And once you experience that shift, there's no going back. Freedom becomes inevitable. Quietly, methodically, and without fanfare, your life transforms. You're no longer just surviving, you're living with intention. Every month, every dividend, every calculated reinvestment compounds not just financially, but psychologically. Confidence, calm, and clarity become your default state, and the future you? That version will look back and thank you for the patience, discipline, and foresight you exercised today. My name is Jordan. Thanks for reading. I'll see you in the next video.